Hey everyone, welcome back to 432 Yucks YouTube channel. I'm here with Shane McLean. He is the owner-operator of 432 Yuck. Shane is the owner-operator at 432 Yuck, and he will come out and take the junk from your house and take it to the dump. So today you're going to be sharing with us some information that people need to know about how to properly load a bin. Because we see a lot of stuff out there that, is improperly loaded and the problems that can occur when things aren't done right. So start us off. So what do you see happen when people have a bin and they don't load it properly? What are some things that you see out there?
Yeah, so I see people, they kind of make a dome of garbage on top of the flat bin.
Okay.
Right. So it's bad. It's bad for us because the Department of Transportation likes to give fines for that stuff, right? So we have a tarp that we put over the bins that we use bungee cords to strap it down, but stuff still can fall out the sides. I think the biggest thing is just to put the bigger items in first and try and break the bigger items down so they're not so bulky, and then throw in the smaller items. A lot of people, they forget about the bigger items until the end and try and put it on top, and then it just makes it so awkward, right? Yeah.
Okay. So when people are trying to plan for filling up their bin, say they've got, a decent sized one there, what are some tips that you can give them? Let's say they're mucking out from, let's say they're doing a renovation. How should they approach that?
Yeah. So like, the bigger items first, smaller items second, trying to maybe break up or cut up some of the bigger pieces so it fits in there and stacks up nicer. And that way they get more room, obviously, too, because if you throw in a bulky item, it gets kind of awkward and takes up a lot of room, right?
A lot of airspace in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you want to try and pack it as efficiently as possible, fill in all the gaps, kind of like when you're filling a moving truck.
Yeah, exactly. And another big thing is just empty boxes, cardboard boxes that are just a square. If you just take out the bottoms and flatten them, you have so much more space, right? So,
yeah, that's a big thing because you can flat pack those things all day long and they won't take up as much volume in the truck. Now, what about when it comes to loads, let's say like hardwood flooring or drywall? What are some tips that you can give to people who are, loading a bin with that stuff?
Yeah, so with that stuff, those are the items that fall out on the sides easily, especially when the truck is higher up or when the bin is on top of the truck driving. So those ones you got to lay all the pieces horizontally flat and not sticking up in different angles, right? So it's just kind of just playing like a puzzle, just trying to get it all in there properly.
And what are some of the problems that you have when you're picking up these bins and you notice that, oh my goodness, it is not packed properly? Do you have to actually physically get in there and rearrange it so it's safer to travel?
Yeah, that happens often. Some companies I know, they don't do that. They'll just call the customer and say, hey, you guys got to make it flat and safe for us to pick it up. But for me, I just kind of take action, jump on there myself and kind of move things around because I know what will fall, what won't fall. But sometimes, there's big long 2x4s or something that are sticking half in the garbage, half out, and it's hard to move them around, right? So, it's just kind of common sense. If you see it sticking up, chances are it's not going to be safe, right?
Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about weight limits. What's a good rule that people can have regarding a bin and the weight limit?
Yeah, so the bins are... they can carry a lot of weight. With our 10-yard bins, we include 1 ton of weight included in the price. And then there's an overweight charge if you go over. But, if you're not throwing dirt, concrete, those kind of items, it's pretty hard to max out the trucks. Shingles, dirt, concrete, those are the items that when they're mixed in with the garbage, they max out the trucks because the trucks have a weight capacity for lifting it up too, right?
Gotcha.
So I think if you are going to be having some of those items mixed in with the garbage, you need to let the the drivers know beforehand, right? It's hard to really kind of calculate how much your garbage is going to weigh. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to calculate it from pounds into tons and kilograms into, you know, it's just too much. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's majority of the time, if there's items sticking out of the bin, then you're getting close to that, that weight limit, right? So,
getting close to the limit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So really only in the event of concrete, dirt, shingles, those are the real heavy items. Everything else is pretty okay.
Yeah.
And just using some common sense and flattening things out and trying to stack it so that you get the most use out of the bin. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. I like that. Yeah. So tell me a story. What are some horror stories that you've seen in picking up these roll-off bins?
Yeah, I have some photos. Maybe we can add it into the video, but there's been a couple where it's pretty much 2 bins of garbage in one bin.
Oh my goodness.
You know, and there's garbage around the bin, in the front of it, on the side of it. And it's just like, they just think if it touches the bin, then it's going, right? So it's, you know, there's a couple, you know, we run into those horror stories, you know, with the overloading of the bin pretty often. I think it's just people, I don't know if they're just not thinking about the after, you know, the next part of it, like the next guy's job on the project, right? Like, or they're just not taking the time to, you know, go through it. They're just kind of rushing and making stuff. But usually it's the residential customers, because they're in their last stages of moving their house or whatever, and they're just already just overwhelmed, right? So they just try and push it to the next guy, right? To the garbage guy.
Well, and we probably take trash removal a little bit for granted because, you know, we put it out to the corner once a week and, you know, the trash just appears.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got a bin outside your place, you're thinking, oh, it'll just disappear if I just put it in there, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is you still have to put it on your truck and haul it away and make sure that stuff isn't flying off it, so you're not causing a hazard, going through someone's windshield or popping their tire or wrecking their car while you're going down the freeway, right?
Exactly.
What are some other tips that you can give to people how to load a bin properly?
Yeah. So, you know, it's funny you say that about the garbage just disappearing, is I'm the one that makes it disappear. So that we have a lot of contracts with property management companies where people that live in apartment buildings or townhouses, they'll just put the mattress or the couch or something beside the city bin and it disappears. But that's because we come and have to take it away, right? So, you know, it's pretty funny. Just breaking everything down and just using common sense of just, you know, putting yourself in the driver's shoes and put yourself in the shoes of someone driving behind that bin on the way to the landfill. Yeah. Would you want to be driving behind the bin that you're loading, right?
Right. Yeah.
Pretty much, right?
So it's thinking about others when you're loading that bin up.
Exactly.
Right on.
Common sense.
Did you have any other stories that you can share with us about improperly loaded bins?
Yeah, like, you know, and even when you do kind of load it properly, there are times when you'll be driving down on the Henday or something, and it's bumpy or something, and things kind of, you know, they jiggle at a place. So you got to pull over and make sure push it back in and retarp it or something. So it's kind of like a situation that we're always dealing with. That's
about it. Yeah. Okay. Awesome, guys. Hope this was a little bit helpful and it gets you better use out of the bins that you rent from Shane at 432 Yuck. We will see you guys on the next video. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much. See you next time.